Shalom, shalom. We are the Israelites. We come out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked nation called AKA Babylon the Great, better known as America. And to let you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that you are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. So we're going to be giving out some edification today. If you're in the area and you can hear, then I hope that you pay attention and pay attention to what we're saying. Pay attention to how many scriptures we bring out of this Bible so you will not be fooled. If you have a Bible app on your phone, make sure you pick your phone out and you follow along with the scriptures that we bring out so you know that we're not telling you no lies out here. We're going to give you the truth of the Bible. We're not going to give you no lies. We're not going to give you no miseducation. We're not going to give you no manipulation. And we're not going to give you no indoctrination. We're going to give you the truth. Give me the book of Isaiah 58 and 1. Let me get Isaiah 28 and 9 over here on my left. See, there's a certain way that you're supposed to read the Bible. People get the Bible and they think they're supposed to just read the Bible from the front to the back like a normal novel. That's not the way that you have to read the Bible. The Bible actually explains to you how to read it. It's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 9. A precept is a law, a commandment. So what you need to do is follow along, get your phones out if you got a Bible app, and follow along so you can understand that we're not lying to you out here. You ready? You got Isaiah 28 and 9? All right, cool. Give me that Isaiah 58. Read.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin.
That's right. So today, while we out here, we're not speaking to every nation of people. We only speaking to the Israelites. That's you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We're not speaking to the Caucasian Edomite. We're not speaking to the Chinese Moabite. We're not speaking to the Japanese Ammonite. We're not speaking to the Ishmaelite, which is the Arabs. Or we're not speaking to the East Indians. We only speaking to Israel. Point blank, period. We're going to lift our voices up like a trumpet. We're going to show our people their transgression so they can repent and come back to these commandments so you can make it into the kingdom of heaven. Why? Because the kingdom of heaven is definitely at hand. What's up? Say what? We don't do gospel over here. Yeah, but we don't do gospel. Gospel is a lie. Gospel don't tell you to keep the commandments of God. Gospel just tell you that everything is going to be all right. All you got to do is say you bathed in the blood of Jesus, and when you fall down, you're going to get back up. We don't deal with that over here. We don't deal with lies and fantasy. We deal with the truth of the Bible. The Most High not even dealing with that gospel. Anyway, let me get that Isaiah 28:9 over here. Put the mic where you need it.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
So the Most High is asking, whom shall he teach knowledge? Read.
And who shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
So in other words, in order for you to understand this Bible, you're going to have to go back to a baby state of mind. Why? Because everything that you've learned in the Christian church has been a lie. Everything that you learned in your schools have been lies. Everything that you've learned from your politicians have been lies. There's a reason why the President of the United States swears in with the King James 1611 Bible. Because they know something that you don't know. They know that every word in this Bible is true. But if you don't know how to read the Bible, and you don't know who you are in the Bible, you just wasting your time. If somebody gives you a Bible and they can't tell you who you are in the Bible, then don't even waste your time talking to them. Read.
Verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
You see that? So you have to read the Bible precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. You do not read the Bible like the Bible is a Stephen King novel or something. The Bible explains how to read the Bible so you can get the true understanding of what's going on in the Bible. Right? So we're going to talk about some things that's in the Bible.
Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 1 and 1. You let me get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. King James Holy Bible, take away the noise of your song. King James Holy Bible, take away the noise of your song. King James Holy Bible, take away the noise of your songs. King James Holy Bible. King James Holy Bible, take away the noise of your songs. Give me Amos 5:23.
Yeah, so as I was saying, we about to get into these scriptures. First of all, I want to show you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how the Most High really feels about you. So that you can understand, when you read this Bible and you understand who you are, there's a reason for you to have hope, man. It's a reason for you to wake up in the morning and feel all right about your circumstances and the conditions that you live in, because at the end of the day, the Most High chose you. The kingdom of heaven belongs to you. It don't belong to the other nations, it belongs to you. Read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
You hear that? The Most High God said you so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians are a holy people. The word holy only means to be set apart, to be separate. That means that the Most High separated you, and he keeps you for himself, his very own special people, right? But they're not going to tell you that in the Christian church. They're going to tell you that you lumped in with everybody else and that you're just a Gentile, which could be no further from the truth. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
You hear that? The Lord thy God has chosen you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be a special people unto himself. You want to be special, you want to be a queen, you want to be a king, you want to be a god, you want to be a diva, you want to be all these things, but the Most High already chose you to be his chosen people, a special people, according to the scriptures. Not by words, but what's in the Bible. Read.
Above all people.
What?
Above all people that are on the face of the earth.
So the Most High made you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right.
And this is true business right here, man. What are we reading? The Bible, right? Now, a minute ago, the sister came over here and she asked, could she sing a gospel song when we finish? And I told the sister, we don't deal with gospel. The reason why we don't deal with gospel music, because gospel music is a goddamn lie. Gospel music will not tell you how to get the kingdom of heaven. Gospel music will not tell you to keep the commandments of the Most High God. Gospel music is going to be an illusion for you, a pitfall and a trap, a stronghold. That's what gospel music is. The Most High God is not dealing with gospel music. Matter of fact, let me show you what the Most High said about gospel music. Give me the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 23. Read.
All right, this is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs.
Take that again.
Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs.
Read.
For I will not hear the melody of thy viols.
You see that? The Most High is not dealing with gospel music. How you gonna be singing all of these gospel songs and you ain't doing nothing that the Most High tell you to do in the Bible? If you go to the Christian church and you call yourself a Christian, then everything that you do and everything that you think about should be according to the scriptures of the Bible. It shouldn't be nobody giving you their own personal opinion. It shouldn't be nobody giving you a motivational speech. It shouldn't be nobody telling you that God told them to tell you something, or they had a dream and God said this and said that. If they not telling you the words that come out of this Bible, then they're a goddamn liar. Straight liar. If they not telling you who you are in the Bible, if they not telling you what your nationality is according to the Bible, they're a damn liar. Why is that? Because when you read the Bible, you ain't gonna find terminologies like African American. You ain't gonna find white man in the Bible. You ain't gonna find black man in the Bible. You ain't gonna find Haitian in the Bible. You're not gonna find Chinese in the Bible. You're not gonna find Arab in the Bible. So if all of these different names that we call ourselves today are not in the Bible, who the heck are you reading about? How do you know how to find yourself in the Bible if you don't know who are the people in the Bible? Well, a quick little lesson for you. If you would have read the book of Revelation according to reading it the way that the Bible told you to read it, then you'd understand what nation is what nation. You'll understand what you should be calling yourself today. For instance, instead of the Bible calling people Chinese, that's the nation of Moab. Instead of them calling people Japanese, that's the nation of Ammon. Instead of them calling people Caucasian, that's the nation of Edom, or the Edomites, right? Instead of calling you an African American, a Puerto Rican, a Dominican, a Jamaican, a Haitian, or any of these other bywords that was given to us by our conquerors, you are the children of Israel, all 12 tribes. I could prove this in the Bible. There's not only biblical facts that prove this, it's also archaeological facts and real-time historical facts, right? But we don't pay attention to that, and that's why we lost when it comes to this Bible. That's why the pastor could get you up in the church and tell you a good motivational speech and take all your money. Because you're not trying to figure out what's really in the Bible, you're just following a man instead of following Christ. Right? Give me, who ain't gonna take all your money? Well, that's a good thing if you don't let them take all your money. But if you going up in that church, you need to come out of there, because that's the house of lies and it's a whorehouse. Matter of fact, let me get what I had you holding for me. Yeah, you already read Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1 and 1. You let me get Deuteronomy chapter 15.
You said, yeah, what you just say?
I said the church is a whorehouse. That's what I said. Now, do you want me to prove it to you?
No, I want to.
How I came up with that? Do you know what whoredom is?
No.
Whoredom is anytime you go a whoring or idolizing, right? You know what idolatry is? Okay, so in the church, do they celebrate things like Christmas? Idolatry. Does the Bible tell you to celebrate Christmas? So if the Bible don't tell you to celebrate Christmas and the church celebrates Christmas, then what are they doing?
All right, does the church celebrate three kings?
Celebrate three kings. What is that?
The three kings that brought Jesus our first
Yeah, but why would we be celebrating the three kings? Did Christ celebrate the three kings?
No.
Right, so if you're a Christian, shouldn't you be doing what Christ did? Correct, right? Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 10. What's your nationality according to the Bible? Well, when you open up the Bible, do you see the word Puerto Rican in the Bible? So then who are you in the Bible? Yes, you're correct. You are. Give that sister a round of applause. Right? You got that? Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
You see that? So he brought them out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous with the word bondage. Now give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68 again from the top.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
Under the guise of being conquerors, conquistadors, right? You ever heard that word before, conquistador?
No, sir.
Okay, the conquistadors, those are people who came over here, these so-called white people that are really Edomites, who came over to Puerto Rico when it was called something else, right? And you guys used to be Taino Indians.
Yes, that's exactly what we were.
And you guys used to be Boricua.
Yeah, Boricua.
Do you know that those two words are actually Hebrew words?
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, why do you think that your people were speaking Hebrew?
I'm not for sure.
The reason why your people were speaking Hebrew because you are the tribe of Ephraim from the 12 tribes of Israel.
And my dad said that, and my dad now. It makes perfect sense to me because we fought for the Indians had that land. We fought for that land.
Who fought for that land? The Indians, the Taino Indians? Yes, the Taino Indians fought for that land and they lost, unfortunately. And then the conquistadors started calling y'all a rich port. You know why they called you a rich port?
They call us all like, because the Puerto Ricans, they call them pork chop all the time. I'm not for sure. They suck the kids.
The reason why they called you a rich port is because they knew who you were.
Right.
They know that you are the children of God. And they knew that if they get their hands on you and they get control of you, it will make them rich. Let me show you what the Most High God thinks of you. Give me that Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6 over here, and you hold that Jeremiah 10 for me, right? You listening, sis?
Yes, I am.
All right. What you got for me?
Deuteronomy.
All right, read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Do you know what the word holy means? No. Nope. Set apart, right? All praises. That's good that you know that.
Set apart.
Holy means to be set apart, but not just any old set apart. It means to be set apart by the Most High God. So the Most High God, out of all of the people on the face of the earth, he took one people and he set them apart for himself.
Right.
Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Ain't the so-called blacks and Hispanics some special people? Can anybody cook like us?
No, they can't.
Can anybody dance like us?
They cannot.
Can anybody fight like us?
They cannot.
Can anybody play sports like us?
They cannot.
They can't do nothing that we do. Anytime we get involved in anything that they created, we take over. Don't we take over baseball?
All of it.
Don't we take over football, basketball, the Food Network, every damn thing, right? Because the Most High God made us a special people, right? Now, read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Equal to.
Above all people that are on the face of the earth.
On the side of.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Most High God said that we above all people that are upon the face of the earth, right? So then the question becomes this, sister. If we above all people that's on the face of the earth, how come every community that you go to in the United States of America and all over the world, we on the bottom of the totem pole? You trying to figure it out too, right? Well, guess what? You came to the right place today. You're going to get some answers. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 15 and 28 and 15 and hold that. I'm gonna show you one of the reasons why we on the bottom right now. Right? You got that Deuteronomy 28 and 15? Read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses
all these blessings,
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now wait a minute. Is a curse a good thing? No, it ain't no such thing as a good curse. If the Most High put a curse on you, believe me, it's a bad thing. Right? So he said that if you fail to hearken, and what hearken means to listen, to obey. Right? The word of the Most High. The word of the Most High. Right? To hearken means to listen and obey. Right? So he said if you don't hearken and keep the commandments that I made a covenant with you to keep, that he's going to put curses on you. And those curses shall overtake you. Right? So do you think that our people kept the commandments? No, we didn't. You know why we didn't? Because we doing things like celebrating Christmas. Right? Where did we get that from? We got Christmas from the conquistador, the Edomite Caucasian man. Right? Read Jeremiah 10.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Do you know what a heathen is? A heathen is any nation of people outside of the nation of Israel. Right? That devil over there that's giving out Bibles, he's a heathen. He's a Gentile. Right? But he'll have you believe that us and him is one and the same, but we are not. Right? It was his people that came over and started calling your people Puerto Rican. It was his people that had our people on slave ships. Right? In 1492, the so-called Hispanics went on slave ships. In 1619, they went to West Africa and they got the so-called black man on slave ships. But guess what? We the same people. We only speak different languages because we got conquered by different language-speaking Edomites. Right? Read.
Verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
So he said one cut a tree out of the forest. Read.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
So he cut the tree. The heathens cut trees down out of the forest with the axe. You know what the axe is, right? Right, read.
Verse 4, they deck it with silver and with gold.
Who cuts down trees and then decks them with silver and gold? If you cut down a tree and then you decorate it with silver and gold, what does that sound like to you?
That sounds like they're hiding things. To me, it sounds like they're just wanting to cut down something that's, well, these trees are pretty.
Listen to Christmas. On Christmas, what do you put in your house? And where do you get the Christmas tree from? And what do you decorate it with?
Lights and bugs.
Right? And don't sometimes it has the silver stuff around it and that gold colored stuff around it?
And it had like the stars and everything.
Right. So basically, the Bible is describing to you a Christmas tree. And he's telling you not to celebrate Christmas. These are one of the strongholds and one of the things that we do that keep us from coming back to our greatness. Following the holidays of the world instead of following the holidays of the Most High God. You understand? So now, we know that we didn't keep the commandments. Let's look at some of these curses that befell the Israelites and see who the Israelites are, okay? You tell me if these curses fit our people. Give me Deuteronomy 28:16, and you give me Deuteronomy 28:32. You got it? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now, any city that you go to in America where you find so-called blacks and Hispanics, What are you gonna find in those areas?
Well, me, I would find somebody that's
No, listen. What type of conditions are you gonna find in the cities where blacks and Hispanics live?
liquor stores.
Liquor stores,
Drug addicts. Blackheads. I mean, poor.
poverty, drugs,
Yeah.
gangs,
Yeah.
violence,
Yeah.
rape,
Yeah.
killing.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is in our communities, right?
Always on the arc.
So what the Bible said, cursed in the what?
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Wait a minute. Who was cursed in the fields? Was it our people, the black and Hispanic people in the tobacco fields? Was it we in the sugarcane fields? Was it we in the cotton fields? Right now, who's the major people on the baseball field?
Well, I don't really watch them.
Who's the major people on the football field? Right? So not only was we cursed in the fields back then, we cursed in the field now.
Right.
All right? So that's talking about us. That's one. Give me Deuteronomy 28:32.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look with and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
There should be no power in thy hand. So who took our children and gave them to another nation of people during slavery? Right? They took our children. Now, who takes our children today? Don't CPS come and take our children? And usually when they take our children, who do they give them to?
To somebody else, somebody abuse them and mistreat them.
And rape them, and molest them, and do all of that, right? While they sitting there with a smile on their face, like they good people. But these are curses that's coming upon our people because we didn't keep the commandments of God. So that's two things, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28:47. Give me Deuteronomy 28:54. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies with the Lord shall send against thee.
You see that? So the enemies that we have over here, the Lord sent them against us. Because remember, the Most High said we was a special people above all people on the face of the earth. If they can't beat us on the basketball court and they can't beat us on the football field, what makes you think that they could beat us and come take over us if they didn't have help from the Most High? They can't. You understand? So the Most High sent these idiots against us. Read.
In hunger and in thirst.
Where you get your food from?
I ain't gonna lie, I get it off the stage.
From state, right? But when you go to buy it, where you get it? The stores. Who supplies the stores with the food? Do our people do it?
I'm gonna say yes because I went to Puerto Rico and everything that's going to Puerto Rico is natural. So I think it's going from Puerto Rico to the United States to America.
All right, but who owns Puerto Rico?
United States.
The United States, right? And then they bring the food from there, which is a natural resource. So if the United States owns Puerto Rico, are the Puerto Rican people free? No, right? So where do you get your water from? Where do you get your water from? From the faucet, from the store, Deer Park, Polish Springs. Do we own that? Right. So we got to go to our enemies to get food and to get water, right? So the Bible is true so far, right? Ain't it speaking about our people so far? Read.
And in nakedness and want of all things.
So even when we want to get our clothes, we don't own the textile companies that make the fabric, do we? Right. So that means we got to go to them for that too, right? And it said in one of all things, when you come into the world, you must get a birth certificate. You must get a social security card. You must get a passport if you want to travel. If you want to drive, you must get a driver's license. You need permission from your enemy to do every damn thing.
But I feel like it's basically, okay, people are in jail, so we're all basically in prison.
Yeah, but it's different. Who owns the prisons? Who created the laws that put you in prison?
I know.
All right, so once again, it all goes right back to the same situation. We are not free. We are still at the hands and the mercy of our enemies. Because they could close the stores anytime they feel like it. They could cut off the water supply anytime they feel like it. Not too long ago, when they had this pandemic, they shut the whole planet down and told everybody to go in the house, and everybody did it. Right or wrong? So that's a lot of power, isn't it?
Yeah, we have too much power not to be doing that.
No, that's a lot of power that they have.
Yeah, but we have more power than they have.
We do have more power that we have, but I'm going to show you how to embrace that power in 1 minute. Give me Deuteronomy 28:54.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Now wait a minute. I know in the Northern Kingdom, the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, Mexicans, y'all got a tight family structure a lot of time. Y'all really about family, right? But when you put it together, out of all of these other nations of people, who got the highest rate of domestic violence in the household? Don't our people got that? Don't we got the highest rate of single mother homes? Don't we got the highest rate of men leaving their children? Right. So who's this Bible describing so far? Us, right? And don't our brothers' eyes be evil towards each other? Right? We always fighting each other, always shooting each other, always killing each other. We the Bloods, we the Crips, we the Latin Kings, we the Nietas, we all of these other gangs, right? Instead of us being true people of the Most High God and coming together, our eyes are evil towards our own brothers. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 28:56. Watch this. It's not just the brothers. Read.
Verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil to the husband of her bosom.
So even our sisters, they have evil eyes towards their husband. Just like men beat on their women, their women beat on their men sometimes. Sometimes they kill each other. Sometimes they cheat on each other. It's not just the men doing it, it's the women too. Read.
And towards her son and towards her daughter.
So her eyes will be evil towards her son and towards her daughter. Just like the man will be evil towards his children, she'd be evil towards her children as well. Read.
57. And towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear.
Now wait a minute. The men, it said in Deuteronomy 28:54 that they will leave their children. But women don't usually leave their children. What do? Women in our nations don't usually leave their children, but when they do something evil to their children, what do they do to them? Abandon them how?
Giving birth.
Abortion. Right? Why isn't a Planned Parenthood in the communities where we live at, but you don't find the Planned Parenthood in the suburbs where the Caucasian people live? Huh, sis? The reason why is because they know that our people are going to abandon their children and abort their children because the scriptures tell them that. When you see a president swear in, when he becomes the president, he puts his hand on the Bible, right? You know why he does that? Because they know that every word in the Bible is true. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 28:68. Right? So we're gonna show you how to get right, sis. Leviticus what? 11:7? The swine? Yeah, we're gonna get that in a second. Just give me Deuteronomy 28:68. Let me show her about the slave ships. The slave ships? Okay, you got that? Read.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, when you hear the word Egypt, the first thing that you think about is the place where the pyramids and stuff is at, right?
No, not really.
Well, where's Egypt at?
Well, Egypt is obviously overseas, but when I think about Egypt, I think about slavery as well.
Slavery, right? Who was in slavery in Egypt? The Israelites,
That's what I'm talking about.
right?
Yeah.
The same people that the Most High put curses on, right? But guess what? Those was our forefathers and our foremothers.
Again with ships.
What nations of people went into slavery on ships? The so-called blacks and the so-called Hispanics. Your people, Hispanic people, went in 1492 on ships, taken from these areas over here, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Mexico, all of that, on ships to Spain, right? And the so-called black man went in 1619, right? So we the people that went into slavery, bonded into Egypt on ships. Okay? Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies,
Your friends,
unto your enemies,
your lovers,
unto your enemies,
your baby daddy.
unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So the Most High said that when you get off those ships, you is going to be sold to your enemies for slave men and slave women, and nobody's going to redeem you. Right? Now, what's on the back of a dollar bill?
I'm pretty sure.
Show her the...
I think it's like the temple and
You see that pyramid on the back of the dollar bill? You know why America has a pyramid on the back of the dollar bill? Because they know that they have the children of Israel in captivity.
Right.
We are the ones that built this country with our blood, our sweat, and our tears. We gave them 400+ years of free labor. And now look at this place. It's the greatest country on the face of the earth right now, only because we're here. Just like we built up Assyria, just like we built up Persia, just like we built up Babylon, and just like we built up old Egypt. So it's nothing new under the sun, right? So now that we know that we are the children of Israel, because the curses that the Most High said he would put on Israel pertains to us, right? So let's see what the Most High thinks about the other people on the earth. Because you might be thinking, well, damn, we all come from Adam, right? Right? Well, let me get that in the Apocrypha, second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. Let's see what the Most High thinks about the other nations. Okay? Now we already read in Deuteronomy 7:6 who his chosen people was, right? Who was the Most High's chosen people? It's so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You ain't never heard this in the church. You ain't never gonna hear that devil over there tell you this. You know why? He's gonna sit there, he's gonna give you Bibles, and he's gonna give you donuts, and he's gonna give you cold water, and he's never gonna tell you the truth of the Bible. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Thank you, Tawada, we appreciate it.
I want one of these though.
Oh, you bought the Bible? Con.
I don't know how much they are.
No, they free.
All right,
See, but when we give you a Bible, we tell you who you are in the Bible. We don't just give you a Bible and let you walk away without understanding the Bible. Right? And we don't ask for your money. You don't see us with no bucket out here, none of that.
I just felt like
No, it's cool. We'll put it to good use. but we don't ask for it.
I never
All right.
said it.
No, that's cool. I'm just letting you, I'm showing you the difference.
I got 4 kids at home.
Con.
Now, no,
And it's time for you to start teaching your children this knowledge. Watch this. What you got for me? Give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. I want to show you something. Read.
This the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
We are an oppressed people over here, sis. And if we walking around happy, doing TikTok challenges, going to the club, shaking our asses, doing all of this other stuff, instead of being mad at the conditions that we in, then we are not a wise people. Would you say that our people are wise? No, they're not wise, because our people are not really mad at the oppression. If they was mad at the oppression, yeah, you may be, but the majority of our people are not. Because they don't even think about, well, damn, before these people start calling me an African American, before these people start calling me a Puerto Rican or a Dominican, what was I? What food did I eat? Where did my people come from? Right? These are all things that they start calling us after they conquered us. Right? Give me Isaiah 1:3. Right? Finish that out.
Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart.
You see that? Our people are comfortable. The Most High said a gift destroys the heart. So when he stand out there and give out water, he stand out there and give out Bibles and donuts and everything with a smile on his face, you know what I'm saying, burning up in the sun, about to catch cancer, right? We think that he cares. Right, but we'll think that he cares. We'll think that like, oh, you know, he must really care about us. He really doing something for the community. But he's not giving you what you really need, which is your true identity. He's not telling you that the Most High chose your people, that the kingdom of heaven is for you. He's not telling you what you got to do to get the kingdom of heaven, right? And he's not telling you that you above all people upon the face of the earth. All he's going to do is stand there and tell you a bunch of lies that he learned from the Christian church. You understand? And these scriptures that you hear in the day, you ain't never going to hear them in the Christian church. What you got for me? The what? Leviticus 11:7. Hold that. You got Isaiah 1:3. Watch this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
See, an ox know who owns him, and he's a dumb animal, but he still know who, right, an ox. But the ox still knows who his owner is. Even the dumb animal knows who owns him. Our people walk around thinking they free. Read.
And the ass, his master.
You don't have to cry, sis. The kingdom of heaven is for you.
That's my brother's statement. He's in jail right now. He's looking for you to get him out.
Yeah, but we know we can get this information to your brother too. Right? And let him know who you are. When you talk to your brother, now you got some good news to give him. Now you got some hope to give him. Right? You can tell him, hey man, hey bro, did you know that we was the children of Israel? Did you know that the kingdom of heaven is for us? Did you know that Christ only came for us? Let me show you that. Give me Matthew 15:24. Let's get it out of Christ's own mouth. Right? Because what do? They tell you that Christ came for everybody, right? Watch this. What's this? You got that? Give me Matthew 15:24 over here. Read.
Book of Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, he sent to everybody.
But unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He coming for that devil over there.
But unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So he only came for us. He only came for the children of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He didn't come for everybody else. Let me get that again. Give me the book of Matthew chapter 18 and verse 11.
They love him.
Read. Don't even answer him. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Read.
This is the book of St. Matthew chapter 18, verse 11. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost.
You hear that? He said the Son of Man came to save that which was lost. Who was lost? The children of Israel was lost. That's why they call them the lost sheep of the house of Israel. How many times we gotta say it? If the kingdom of heaven is only for the 12 tribes of Israel, and Christ said it out of his own mouth that he only came for the lost sheep of Israel, and this dude says that he came for everybody, who's lying? Let me show you who's lying. Let me get the book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29 right quick. The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29. What's going on with you, King? You got that axe? Listen.
Acts. It's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29.
Listen close, sis.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. The God of our fathers raised up Yahweh. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom ye slew and hung and hanged on a tree. Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness.
To give who? To give repentance to who?
To give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
You see that? So the Most High raised up Yahweh, who that's his true name in the Hebrew, right? He raised up Christ to be a prince, to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins, not for nobody else. Okay. What's going on, my brother? Where you at? What's going on with you, King? You got any questions? That's right, we out here to answer all questions according to the scriptures. We not out here to tell you lies, man. I don't gotta come out here and curse people out and do all of that. All I gotta do is tell the truth and let the Bible speak. You understand? We let the Bible speak, right? That man been out here, he ain't been telling the truth to nobody. He's out here every day giving out water, every Saturday giving out water, giving out Bibles, and he don't never tell the people who they are in the Bible. It's a damn shame, man. Say that again?
That is not your job to judge him.
You sure about that? Watch this.
God got to judge him.
Watch this. I'm gonna prove it to you.
God got to judge him. We don't judge him. God gives you all. That's his job. He put him down. He gives his word. You went down in the cave. You went down in the cave and he rose on the third day with all power.
Yo, give me 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 15. So you say we can't judge, right? You sure about that? Does the Bible say that? Or is you just making that up? Do the Bible say that? It ain't in the Bible? All right, so watch this. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 15. You got that? Read.
This is the first Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15. But he that is spiritual judges all things.
No, we ain't supposed to judge.
But he that is spiritual judges all things.
Say that stuff again for everybody.
But he that is spiritual judges all things.
So now hold up. If it ain't coming out the Bible, we don't want to hear what you're talking about, King. That's your own personal opinion or something you heard somebody else say that you regurgitating. We only care about what's written in the Bible. Read it again.
But he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judged of no man.
You see that? So for you to come over here and tell me that I can't judge, you can't judge me. But I can judge all things because I'm a spiritual man. And if you are spiritual, you know that you can judge too. Because you judge all the time. As he should. Yeah, man. But this is what it is, man. You know, they think Christ is coming back to play games, man. They think he's coming back to play games. They act like they got a personal relationship with God, man. Let me get 1 John 2 and 3 over here. Right? Keep telling y'all, man, that the Most High is coming back to destroy these other nations, man. He coming back to kill, man. Right? People be talking about they know what God want and they know what God said, but they don't come out the Bible, man. Just a bunch of hypocrites and liars, man. You got that? Read.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
So if you keep the Most High's commandments, that's the only way you're going to know him. If you don't keep his commandments, you do not know the Most High God. Period. Read.
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar.
Just like that stinking mayonnaise-faced devil over there. Read.
And the truth is not in him.
You see that? The truth ain't in him. Right? Get Isaiah 14. What you got? You still holding which one? Matter of fact, look, drop that. Give me Luke 22. Give me Luke 19 to 27, man. That's right, man. Because all these other nations, man, they gonna bow down, man. They gonna serve us. Matter of fact, no. You give me Luke 19 to 27. You give me Isaiah 14, starting at verse 1, man. Right? See, these liars out here, man, they just starting to make me laugh now, right? Because what's funny about it, you know, is the fact that they don't never tell the truth. They don't never come out the Bible. They'll give you one little verse, and then after they give you that one little verse, they give you their own personal, you know what I'm saying, philosophy or their own thoughts. But watch this. You got that? Oh, shut the hell up. Read.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
You hear that? The Lord said he's going to have mercy on Jacob. Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel who got his name changed to Israel. Read.
And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
We the only people that's over here on foreign land. The Most High said he gonna set Israel in their own land. Read.
And the people shall and set them in their own land. And the strangers,
the Chinese people,
and the strangers,
the white people,
and the strangers,
the East Indians,
and the strangers,
the Arabs,
and the strangers,
that dumbass cracker over there,
and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them, and the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
So you see that? The Most High said the children of Israel is going to possess these other nations for servants and handmaids. They're going to be slaves in the kingdom. All right, sister, Shalom, make sure you watch, make sure you call the number, and make sure you watch the videos, okay? That's right. So these other nations is going into captivity. I bet you that devil over there won't even be able to explain Isaiah chapter 14 to you. But guess what? They're not going to come willingly. They're going to get taken by force. Read.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
That's right. Not my Jesus. Did Christ just say anybody that don't want me to reign over them, to bring them here and slay them in front of me? That's right. These other nations are going to bow down. These other nations are going to be your handmaidens and your servants. The Chinese man going to be doing your nails for free. Right? They're going to be doing your nails for free. The so-called Italian man, he going to be cooking you linguine and all type of spaghetti and everything for free. And if he don't do it, we going to whip his goddamn back. Straight up. Matter of fact, let me think here, man. What else I want? Bring that out, King.
It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured,
all the people that devoured us shall be devoured. So you look at your community and your neighborhood, where you live at, in the so-called ghetto or the so-called barrio, and it got all the other people, got all the major businesses, they owned by other nations. You could barely get a barbershop or a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, right? Sucking the blood out of our people, keeping us on the bottom. But we don't understand how powerful we are. We keep this whole country running, man. We the bus drivers, we the plumbers, we the janitors, we the damn carpenters, we everything. Everything. Without us, these people would not even be able to function in this country. Right? And then they got the nerve to call our men lazy. How the hell do you work somebody for 400 years and get free labor off of them and call them lazy? You see what I'm saying? This is the real situation that we in, man. You know? Like we got this dumbass woman called Tia Tequila. Right? This right here is for my sisters out here. All my sisters that's running around here wearing weaves. All of my sisters that's running around here wearing extensions. All of my sisters that's running around here perming their hair, talking about they relaxing it. If you don't stop, the Most High is going to relax your ass in the fire. Because the Most High said, do not envy thy oppressor. You feel me? Let me get Isaiah 3:16 over here, man. Let's take a look at it. It's the reason why our sisters gotta wear all type of lace front wigs, those who can afford the real lace fronts, or unless they get the bootleg version, right? And the so-called Moabite, the Chinese man and the Asian man, they got all of the black beauty supply stores all across America, man. You tell me how the hell you gotta go to the so-called Asian man so he can tell you how to have black beauty. It don't even make sense. His women is not beautiful. Asian women is not beautiful, slanty-eyed ass people. How the hell is they beautiful? They looking all cross-eyed, flat ass butts, everything. Don't got no body or nothing. But the Asian man gonna tell you about black beauty. And you know what? When it comes to these hair parlors and these nail salons most of the time, and these black beauty supply stores, you don't see the other nations of people going in there. So who's making these people rich? Who's making these people rich? Our sisters, our gay ass brothers who be trying to be like our sisters, going up in the black beauty supply store, spending all of their money. And then when they get up in there and they get in contention, the Asian man beating the crap out of our sisters in them stores, man. Busting them in the head with broomsticks, choking them out, doing all type of debauchery to our sisters. But guess what? Our sisters keep going back to get that weave, though. They keep going back to get that fake fingernails, right? Continuously. They don't care. They'll take that beat down as long as they can look like a bootleg Beyonce. You know what I mean? It's a shame. Y'all need to stop giving these people your money. They do not care about you. It's the reason why your hair has the issues that you have with your hair. And we're going to read it right now. Read. Oh, he stepped off? You got to let me know, King. Yeah, Isaiah 3:17, man. No, start at 16. Isaiah 3:16, man. Let me know when you got it. Got that? Read.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and one-time eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Verse 17. Therefore the Lord will smite. Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts.
You see that? So the Most High said, because our sisters, you so-called blacks, you so-called African Americans, you so-called Haitians, you so-called Jamaicans, right? And some of you so-called Hispanic women as well, right? The Most High said, if you be haughty, you walking around with stretched necks, thinking you a diva, prideful, belligerent, what he gonna do? He gonna smite your head, or to smite the crown of your head with a scab, right? What they call it nowadays, alopecia or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just know that they got it, right? And our sisters got that. The Most High don't play. He not lying. Read.
Verse 18. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their claws and their round tires like the moon. Verse 19. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. Verse 21. The rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils.
Now, what the Most High is describing is how fly our sisters used to be. Some of our sisters are still fly right now. We got some sisters out here right now that's fly. They got on head wraps, they got on dresses and skirts with fringes on them, dressing modestly the way the Most High want them to dress. That's fly. But a lot of times, our sisters run around here, they go get them a little skimpy outfit from Rainbows, and they be dressing like whores out here, man. Right? The Most High took away all the things that our sisters used to have. I remember when I was a kid, you could go in your auntie room, and she got in the closet all type of different hats and shawls, and different dresses, and different type of apparel and shoes galore. You go look at her dresser, she got all type of different perfumes. Now you go check her sister, she be lucky if she got some Muslim oil, right? They be lucky if they got 3 outfits that they could put on that's fly, right? This is how it's going down a lot of times out here. The Most High took all that away. All the fly jewelry that our women used to wear, all the fly ornaments, you know what I'm saying? Not no more. All the fly accessories. Now you can just go in the clothing store and buy your accessories right off the rack for $10. Ain't no more 22 karat gold with diamonds in it and rubies and all of that stuff. Now you just bootleg everything, right? Read.
Verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be a stink. Woo-wee.
Instead of a sweet smell, there should be a stink. You know, I'm a blind guy. Sometimes if I walk past the fish market, I might be like, how you doing, ladies? Because the Most High put a stink on these women. Not all of them, but it's a lot of them walking around that got terrible hygiene, right? Read.
That's it. All right. And instead of a girdle, a rent.
That's right. You see, a lot of our sisters, instead of them having a flat tummy and all of that, they got a big old bubble, right? Look like they pregnant again. Read.
And instead of well set hair, balding. What? Balding.
Say